Once again, at last, here we are.
Dance.
Welcome to the tundra. It gets worse here every day. You learn to live like a kobold in the tundra where we play.
We're gonna learn today, all of us, as friends, and family. Who the heck is doing yard work at 9 o'clock at night?
It is like just after sundown.
Right, it's still bright.
But like,
9 o'clock these days, prime time to be mowing lawn.
what?
Do you have any neighbors who are maybe are vampires and would have like sunlight restrictions? Maybe.
But you know what? No, it's not even. It's not even. We're already live. Like I've already delayed it enough. It's fine. We're just gonna get right into it. I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna wait anymore. You know what I will do?
Keep
I will.
in mind the vampire theory, though, just in case.
Well, funnily enough, I did watch a vampire movie earlier today because apparently YouTube just has free movies that you can just watch on YouTube that I was not aware of. I watched Clue earlier today. That was fun. It was one of my favorite early movies growing up. And I watched Interview with a Vampire today for whatever reason, just because I felt like it.
Oh,
Yeah, with Tom
Oh,
Cruise and Brad Pitt.
yeah.
A very disturbing movie, but an interesting one.
That being said, kobolds.
Yes, kobolds. Give me 1 second. I need to close my door. 1 second.
And a trench coat.
It's a wonderful trench coat.
It is masterwork item.
Doesn't
Yes.
carry into the house. All right. Okay, so last time for the kobolds. After a long journey and some missteps along the way, you all decided to travel to the source of a strange psionic signal that Savage had some strange connection to. On the way, you met a very curious individual, a Goliath werebear who has yet to reveal their name, but so far seems amicable enough and has even offered to be your guide to this strange alien thing. And more so along the way, you have found in your travels an awakened owl that knows a bit more than it's letting on, and even though it flew away, may yet still be following you for reasons unknown.
Do not trust the owl.
You can never trust owls, man.
Those dang Boyds.
Boyds. Speaking of Boyds, as you're traveling along towards this destination unknown, towards the spine of the world, the largest mountain chain cutting you off from the Sword Coast, I'd like everyone to make perception checks for me. As I drop my dice and need to pick it up again.
Of course, very perceptive.
Ah, yes, very perceptive indeed.
I have
It's good that someone amongst us is.
You kind of have to be.
yes, extremely perceptive.
Right. Alrighty, so. Oh, that should not be. Turn the volume off on that. So, Skanuk and Meepo. Both of you would notice that indeed it does seem like that owl, while trailing behind you around perhaps 200 or so feet, is in fact following you.
The bird is?
The bird is, yes. Any thoughts on that?
Where is he?
I'd say at this point he's directly south of where you're coming from. So, like, behind you, 200 feet.
100 feet, you say?
200 feet, yeah.
Alright. He'd be at disadvantage, I won't shoot him yet.
Yet, he says.
Yet.
Yet. So,
Good eating owls.
are they?
I mean,
wouldn't
to
know.
Skunnock, most things are good eating.
I'm sure for a kobold, maybe. Me? Yeah, I don't know. Evan?
I'm
No,
interested.
owls are like, underneath the feathers, they're quite skeletal almost.
Yeah, they're very skinny. Like, they're basically, like, all
Yeah.
feathers.
The case with most birds.
I mean, that is true, but, like, for them especially, like, you've seen turkeys,
Creepy
you've seen
when you see-
chickens. Like, they're pretty plump, but, like, owls, like,
I
you get them
suppose
wet,
owls are-
they're freakish.
I have a cat who's like that.
You
All
do.
fluff, and he's a string bean under it.
What a fun cat. Alrighty, so let me see here.
That's looks like an alien. Thank you for
Does.
sharing that picture. That is.
I can't see the pic. I can't see the picture. I'm focusing. All right, so let me roll something. Oh, this is a weird, awkward angle right here. Oops. Interesting. Okay.
Oh no. Interesting things frighten me.
Well,
Oh no, they frighten me. Skunnock is not frightened by interesting.
oh, of course, of course. In that case, since you're frightened, Skunnock, go ahead and roll a d20 for me, and I will roll one.
Oh no.
Commenting on frightening things gets you involved.
Ooh.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about what.
Nothing.
Right. There is nothing to be worried about. I'm not worried. Yet.
Hmm. Okay.
You say that now.
I am in fact saying that now. As you start to travel in the morning, in the crisp morning air, you notice the weather, as it has been for the past couple days, once again takes a turn for the worse. As the storm clouds gather overhead and the winds pick up with a brisk, wailing howl, a blizzard starts to rain down upon you once again. It's almost as if it's alive, trying to bar your progress. But you know better. Most of the Dale is like this time of year, and with what's been going on. But with how often it's been happening recently, you can't help but think of the Frost Maiden's curse. Whether there's some validity to that statement from Diego. I mean, Bloodfang.
I thought it was like just a random wolf that did the curse.
Ah, my mistake.
A winter wolf.
It was in fact a winter wolf. I am mistaken. It has been some time.
Right. I just remember that because the winter wolf was gonna kill me. And I
Right.
was unconscious for Diego.
Of course, of course. That's on me for getting my notes mixed up. In any case, you guys may push forward and continue, or you may hunker down and wait for it to dissipate. The choice is yours. Your guide recommends staying put, if only to make sure that you stay on course, because for them, they're not in any hurry. They're just They're just there to take you to your destination and no more.
While we're waiting here, you want to set something up to greet our little owl friend?
What do you have in mind?
Well, I know how much y'all love traps. I don't know what kind of trap, but maybe like a snare or something, just to hold them back for a little bit.
Oh, devious. I like it.
We can lose him on our way out.
Ow.
Let's see. I got.
So what is your plan here? How do you attempt to accomplish this?
We're gonna have to put something somewhere where he's gonna want to inspect it closely, and it'll have to trigger the trap from him inspecting it.
Interesting.
I see.
Ah, Savage, you taught Blanca specifically, I believe it was Relentless Endurance, the half-work trait, I believe.
Right.
Going to 0, bring back up at 1.
Yes.
So that Blanc would be able to keep fighting even after it died.
Because she already had the blood frenzy thing. Thought of.
Well, I'm not sure I have anything in my pack that would be attractive to an owl.
Well,
I've got a pet mouse.
I'm assuming that this owl would. You have a dead mouse? That might be useful.
No, I've got a pet mouse. Skunk
Oh,
will
pet
pull out an object.
So you do. What do you pull out, Skanuk?
Yes, it is. It is an object that at first glance looks like a mouse, but upon further inspection is clearly just a rock that looks a bit like a mouse.
That might do in a pinch. Let's see what else we've got. We could tempt it with actual food or that rock. Or we could try to figure out what do you think is the reason it's following us?
Well,
Uh,
it's clearly an awakened animal of some kind. So
Right.
either one of the Frost Maiden's druids or some other druid has sent it to spy on us.
Right. So if it's spying on us, what if we left back some sort of note or something that would be important to knowing what we're doing, but not necessarily true? Some sort of clue to where we're going that leads away from where we're going.
I like it. I like it.
Savage just thinks it's an actual mouse. Looks pretty tasty, Savage. And again,
Referring to the bird.
We could just eat the owl, but that would.
He's not benefiting us, and he's not currently hindering us. He doesn't intend to help us. I don't intend to let him stab us in the back.
My biggest problem with that is we don't know if he's just a curious fella.
Well,
Which is a possibility.
we were talking about the Jarlmoot before, right? And that's something we're going to check out in the future. But I don't know how commonly known its location would be. Why not I could write some things in giant in the snow, throw together a fake map, maybe, or something like that, arrange some rocks or something, and we could maybe make it look like we're looking for the Jarlmoot.
But
Like we
wouldn't,
were talking about our plans and writing down stuff in the snow just to keep track of what we were saying.
Yeah, something like that.
but wouldn't anything you write in the snow just be covered up by more snow as it falls?
True.
it is a very heavy blizzard right now, so that is point of order.
Well, we could do it in the tent area where we're at.
True, you could.
So that when we move the tent, it'll still get covered by snow, and anyone try to spy on us.
Well,
If it's snowing,
we won't move the tent until it stops snowing.
well, until the blizzard stops.
True.
Well, here's another idea. I've got with me this whole scroll case full of notes that I was using to teach myself the giant language. But now that I've got it pretty down pat, I'm not sure I need it so much. That would also point to the Jarl Moot. We're looking for giants. Maybe when
well, we
we
don't
pack
leave
up...
the whole thing. Maybe just a couple scraps.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe we pack up and make it look like, oh, we dropped some papers.
Even if they don't say anything worthwhile, it might just stop to look at them.
And we trap it?
Right, using some sort of mechanical snare. Unless you've got a spell that does snaring.
Where's your spell? I feel like it's a ranger druid thing.
I think artificers might be able to learn it, but I don't know.
What?
Snare.
Ranger, druid, artificer,
Ooh.
probably wizard.
Well, I guess if we're gonna, rest here for a long while, I could put something together like that.
Speaking of
Can I make the
oh my
see
god,
if this storm is gonna pass by at any specific time?
well,
I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure I just heard Evan roll another Yeti ambush.
that's not what I was rolling, but
Or more.
I was rolling how long the blizzard will last.
It's gonna last for a long time, isn't it?
Well, I'm also gonna roll something else just so I don't have to metagame this.
Right.
Okay, thank goodness. You see the werebear kind of like steep down in the snow, kind of look towards the sky as the wind howls past her face, kind of like the many different braids and totems just jingling in the howling wind. Just kind of takes a sniff, kind of grits her sharp teeth. This blizzard will last for a while. We're in for the long haul. Probably around
That just
eight
gives us
hours
more
or
time to
so.
set up a trap. And time to make sure we got what we need ready for the next day.
Yeah, I rolled 2 4s on a d4. I'm just looking at my d4 like, really? You kidding me right now? Sure, slow down everything for me. Why don't you? I'm gonna put that d4 to the side. It's being very naughty. Here, I'll take. Next time I'm rolling a blizzard, I'm using you instead. Any case. In any case, what are you guys doing while you're waiting for the blizzard to calm down?
Well, I'm sure we ought to keep watch anyway. At least to some extent. But we also ought to do a long rest so that we can get the trap set up.
True, you did just. It is basically morning. You did just come off of a long rest.
We just came off of a long rest.
And you can't take more than one long rest for 24 hours are up. So basically, once every 24 hours.
Well, in that case, I could try to finagle up a non-magical one.
Right.
Let's see.
I don't have any rope.
I have 50 feet of rope, crowbar, pythons, a hammer, got a knife, various accoutrements.
You see the werebear kind of take stock of what you have. It could work, but It needs something extra. Ah, Wander, eh?
I usually forget that I have this trait, and it kind of seems like it might be useful currently.
What do you wish to use this trait for at the moment?
Just kind of giving myself a perspective of like where we are at regarding the town that we left to our general destination.
Okay, so let's see here. You started about... Let me see here. Let me double check the map. You started... This isn't exactly the scale. About maybe like 7 or so miles east of Duggan's... Oh, no, west of Duggan's Hole. Very, very small town. But at this point, currently, you venture the distance that you traveled before the blizzard hit. You should be around right here, where the tip of the arrow is pointing.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously this won't help you a lot right now too much because of blizzard. You can't take stock of your surroundings. But judging from how far you've traveled so far, you gather you're around that kind of a general area.
Right. And then that square area is kind of what we're aiming for, that general area?
No, actually, that square area is where your guide told you the Yarlmoot was. Possibly, somewhere in that area.
Okay.
Where you want to be going is somewhere in this area. Into the spine of the world.
Okay. Yeah, I've slept since then.
Indeed, it's hard to remember all the details. But yes. Because of the blizzard, why don't you all make survival checks for me? If only because this particular blizzard seems to be especially harsh. Okay. 15, 10, 12, 14. Okay. As the wind bites down on you, you fear for a second that the cold might almost overtake you. But you quickly start to set a fire and keep it free from the wind so that you're able to at least keep some warmth during this time. So none of you suffer a point of exhaustion. As you light the fire, you do notice that your werebear guide almost seems to wince at it and kind of keeps her distance from it. You do take notice of that.
Distance from what?
From the fire.
Is that normal for werebears? Do I know that?
Why don't you go ahead and make either an Arcana check or a History check?
Arcana, whenever he has the option. Oh.
7. I mean, to be fair, there may be some different... She in particular seems to be a werebear variant of some kind, like specifically mimicking that of a polar bear, but you're not sure whether that constitutes some differences in the actual biology. You're not too sure, but it is something to take note of. Maybe something to ask about, if she's willing.
Is it too hot for you?
Well, with an 18, before she can even answer, Meepo, she's not afraid of it, per se, but it definitely feels like it, even though she's not afraid of it, and she seems to be a very brave individual, you can tell that the fire, just being near it, is physically uncomfortable for her. Not in a way that's like, oh, it's too hot, so I'm just going to move away. It's like a wince of pain, almost. Like a memory of a very painful event.
If you need to, we could always set up another tent. Do we have a way to do that?
There's no need. The cold does not bother me much. I will simply sit over here and keep watch. And she will keep herself a good, healthy 20 feet away from the fire.
Only we can prevent wildfires.
She turns back. Only you. And it points the finger.
I don't know. I feel like this all is doing a pretty good job, and it's gonna like gestures at the blizzard around them.
Only you. No. Um. But now that you've at least hunkered down a little bit, go ahead and everyone make perception checks for me. This will be at disadvantage because of the blizzard.
I was already at disadvantage.
Fair enough, and I'll have to make one for the guide as well. Oof.
Advantageous perception.
Son of a gun.
My brain just went looking for disadvantage in the list of skills because apparently I've got some synapses firing wrong tonight.
Well, don't worry. Apparently my luck is doing that as well. Wow, okay. Well, your guide rolled a natural 1. But that's fine. Because what was out there also rolled a natural 1. So, it evens out. Fucking. Alright. Oh, actually, hold on.
Well, between Meepo and Skanuk, I think it's alright.
Well, it actually makes perfect sense that you would hear this. Because despite the biting and deafening blizzard surrounding you, you hear the thudding of footsteps. Boom. Boom. Boom.
Is it more
Does that
fucking
sound like a giant
noise?
or like some sort of large beast?
Well, as you have that thought, you hear a trumpeting come echoing out throughout the tundra. And also, I see you there, Seth, in chat. I see you. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Sorry, anyone who watches the YouTube will be confused, but I say
Such is life.
Such is life. Indeed, you hear the thumping of footsteps. So the trumpeting that you hear coming out from the tundra leads you to believe this might be a mammoth of some kind, and they are making their way through the blizzard.
Does it seem like they're coming closer?
It seems that they're keeping pace alongside you. They may be like traveling past you. You don't think it's getting necessarily closer. It seems to be consistent. So it's either circling around you, or it's about to walk past you. But not towards you, like more like, kind of like perpendicular to you. What do you do?
Is it does it make more than one? Does it make a circuit of us, or is it just like? Does it seem like it might just be like circling around us to not cross our path while it goes away?
Well, despite the disadvantaged perception checks for Meepo and Skunk, you get the sense that it is walking perpendicular to you, past you. So it does not seem to be circling you. So it's possible, very possible, that it has not taken notice of you yet, or has not noticed you at all.
Well, let's not do anything to catch its attention.
Very good. In that case, the thumping of footsteps eventually goes quieter, more distant, and soon is overtaken and swallowed by the deafening blizzard surrounding you. And thus the encounter passes by you. Very good, very good. The worst part about all this is just waiting. That's the hard part.
We've got cookies.
You do. You have delicious gingerbread cookies made by the wonderful Nimsy Huddle just waiting for you. You have a whole sack full of those cookies.
Fire. Good old time. Snuck will be working on various potions. Not potions, but tinkering with shit.
For whatever your dastardly plan is next.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm going to use my alchemy jug to make 2 more acid vials, if that's alright. Or is it 1 acid vial per day? I don't remember.
Oh, you know what? During this time, I would probably bless some water using the ceremony spell.
Ah, good call. Let me double check the alchemy jug here. Let's see. So an acid, 8 ounces. Acid, D&D 5e. Because if I double check how much acid is in the player's handbook, it'll tell me how many ounces it is, I believe.
1 pound, but that's with the full vial.
Let's see. That is the full vial. So I'll say you can go ahead and just I'll say you get 3 vials of acid. How about that?
Alright. Well, I like that.
So I'm going to do 2 rituals so that I end up with 2 vials of holy water.
Very good.
So before I do that, I'm gonna look up at the group while holding this alchemy jug and say, so does anyone want some mayonnaise before I use this, or?
Got any of that moose meat left? It could use some
Yeah.
seasoning.
I've got a little bit of the. Yeah, I have one set of moose meat rations.
Yeah, me too. I think I'll take some mayonnaise for my moose meat rations.
Instead of acid, we shall make. Let's see, what quantity? It's like a silly quantity of mayonnaise that you can make from an alchemy jug.
Oh yeah. It is like
2 gallons of mayonnaise.
2 gallons of mayonnaise. Yes, exactly. Also, I did the math wrong. 8 ounces is less than a pound. Of course it is. I know basic shit. Don't at me.
So okay, so
Yes.
16 ounces is a pound by weight, but in cooking and in measuring things for cooking, you do volume measure for ounces. You use volume equal to that many. It's weird. Basically, liquid. If you ever see liquid ounces written down somewhere, it means that it's the volume that 8 ounces or that many ounces of water by weight would fill.
Gotcha. All right. For sake of simplicity, let's just say you have 1 vial. No, I said 3, but how about just 1 acid vial? How about that?
Well, if I'm making mayo, I can only make 1 thing.
Wait, really? I thought you could do whatever max amount is for each one.
You choose a liquid for a day, and you can make that max amount per
We already
day.
had.
Yep.
Was there already
once the
mayo
jug
in it?
starts producing. Once the jug starts producing a liquid, it can't produce a different one or more of one that has reached its maximum until the next dawn.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Ooh,
Does it disappear after the day?
So
Until the next
I
dawn.
don't think so. But actually, the way that's worded, it might be that you just have to pour all of it out, and then it can produce a different one, because it does say or more of one that has reached its maximum. So switching may in fact be possible.
You just have to use all the mayo or leave all the mayo. That could be the trap.
For the sake of fun, let's just say that it works that way.
Alright. Cool.
Might be making that
So
more than it needs to, but it's fine. It's fine. It's a fun item. Okay, and what are the rest of you doing during this time? Starting with Hawks, let's say.
Hawks is kind of in a weird position where there's not actually a whole lot for him to be doing at this time. Though I suppose he could be picking through his notes and choosing which ones might be best left as bait.
I see. And you, Savage?
I'd probably be like feeding Muerte Blanca some moose meat rations, um, and making sure that my sword is dry and doesn't rust. So,
Fair enough, fair enough. Muerte certainly appreciates all the extra food. She gives us a solid "oh" as you do so. Her axe-like beak just chopping up everything as she does. She does so. Let me see here. Just double checking something. Okay. So, eventually, after 8 grueling hours, eventually, the winds begin to part. And now, it is mid-afternoon. And so you continue on your journey, unless you wish to enact that plan you had mentioned earlier.
Well, I certainly intend to.
Very well. How would you like to accomplish this plan?
Okay, well, I've got the rope and the pythons and the crowbar and the hammer and various tools, tinker's tools and smith's tools and all that. And I also have a bag.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'd like to set up a sort of snare trap that catches the owl in the bag, if that is indeed our plan.
That sounds like a good idea. I think he'll probably be able to get out of it in some time, but it'll keep him from being able to track us if we're pretty good at covering our tracks,
Alrighty.
especially if it's snowing a little bit.
So, do you have proficiency in Thieves' Tools, Skinnock?
I do.
Okay, this will actually help you out then. So go ahead and make a Thieves' Tool check with either Dex or Intelligence, your choice, to make a snare-based trap using the materials at your disposal.
Okay, what skill was that you said?
It'll be a Thieves' Tool check, and the stat for it can either be Dex or Intelligence, your choice.
Definitely intelligence.
Oh,
Okay.
connection to server has been interrupted. No.
Oh no.
Come on, don't do this to me now.
Oh no.
I mean, as far as traps go, it's pretty solid. You think it'll work?
Skinnock walks away with the bag wrapped around his tail.
And as soon as that's revealed, you're like, ah, shoot, this wasn't as secure as I thought it was.
It worked perfectly, just not on the right thing.
Exactly. So now you have a bag that is securely tied to your tail, and it's gonna be a little difficult to get off. It's kind of messing with your balance a little bit.
Did you do that during the 8 hours?
We'll say, for the sake of brevity, we'll say that it was like near the end of that 8 hours, like near maybe the last 2 hours or so.
Yeah.
So you could have taken some time to get the bag off of his tail. But it would have taken some doing. In fact, for fun's sake, whoever wants to help him, go ahead and make a strength check to get it off of him.
Oh no.
Unskilled strength.
I am trapped.
Unskilled strength. Alright, Savage and Meepo, as you try and pull the bag off, you hear this scraping of scales, and you feel a little bit of blood is drawn, Meepo. Skinnock. Hawks, though, you see where the pressure is being applied. You're like, oh, that's not good. So you loosen up where it has snapped on. Just enough so that it can slip off for the rest of it without any further damage. I will say, Skinnock, you take 3 points of damage.
My lucky scale.
It's all down here from. It's all downhill from here, boys. Not ones only.
Yeah, I feel like it's all downhill from like 4 rolls ago, when I rolled the
Indeed.
first 8.
All right, time for really. All right then. Who have I not picked on? I'm gonna roll a d4. Mike is 1, Steven is 2. It's gonna. 1, 2, 3. Well, Scanuck, go ahead and roll another 1d20 for me. Damn, I rolled a d4 to see who I would pick, and here's you again.
There goes his lucky scale.
The tragedy of Sknuck Rapite of the Wise.
Oh, beans. That's not how you roll. There we go. All right, what happens here?
You're a monster. I don't know what you've done, but you're a monster.
You say this now, but as now you have come to terms with everything, you continue onward. Go ahead and make perception checks for me, the whole group.
It's not blizzarding anymore, right?
It is not blizzard conditions anymore. Now it is clear skies.
At least there's some.
All right, Savage. A little bit of ice gets into your good eye. The rest of you, though, you see 4 shapes about your size coming your direction, or rather heading in a similar direction. You see 4 Icewind kobolds making their way across the tundra. They just continue on their way. You see them carrying like little packs on their backs. Maybe merchants of some kind, or like trading some stuff. Hard to say. Or maybe they're hoarders. Difficult to tell from this distance. But it seems like whatever they're carrying gets a lot of it.
Does it look like a bunch of different things? Or one big thing?
It looks like a bunch of different things. Because there's one giant pack, but it seems like from this distance you can tell that there are a lot of like little hooks and flaps. Basically, it's one giant backpack that's like, it's basically like the cargo shorts of backpacks. Just flaps everywhere.
Very.
Oh. A most enviable backpack.
Indeed. But they are making their way somewhat, perhaps at a 45-degree angle towards your eastern side. If they continue down their way, they might miss you. Because it seems like they have not noticed you yet.
Do you want to try to see what they're up to?
Yeah, we might as well. Like that.
While we're in the neighborhood.
I'll inform our guide. Hey, can you give us a minute to wave down these fellas and see what they're up to?
I don't mind. You do what you need to. I will keep watch. And if things escalate, I can assist if necessary.
And she will simply pull an axe out from her back and just kind of like thunk it into the snow and just kind of rest both paws on the hilt of it, just kind of watching.
Hux will step forward and try to flag them down. Hey, you there!
Yeah? Hello? Is that a fellow kobold I see?
Yeah, how's it going? What are you guys up to? Out here in the middle of nowhere.
You know, surviving, trying not to die. You know, life.
As you can see, this is the one with the largest backpack who seems to be talking. As they get closer, you can see these kobolds appear to have bluish scales, and the one up front appears to have two tiny little wings on their back, and has this big, furry hat that is like kind of like drooping over their face so you can't see their eyes, and they constantly have to like flip up the hat to be able to see you.
Well, we're on an adventure.
Sounds awful. My condolences.
So, what's with all this stuff?
Kind of looks back between its fellows and yourself.
You know, things.
You see the other kobolds blink slowly.
Can I make an insight check on these guys? They seem like they're, like, not entirely here.
Go ahead.
I have advantage on insight because of my cloud rune, or my... Which rune gives it?
I believe it's your stone rune,
Yes,
right?
the stone rune. Yep.
13. Alright. Well, even with a 13, Savage manages to beat them out. They're not very good at being deceptive. It definitely seems like something is off. Something about the way that they're acting. They do in fact seem out of it. Like they're not entirely there in the head. Some of their eyes are kind of glazed over slightly, but there's still enough presence there that they recognize you and can communicate with you just fine, but it's almost like something is addling them in some way, whether it's magic or perhaps an ailment of some kind, it's hard to say, but something is clearly not right here.
Oh, well, you know, if you've got a lot of stuff, maybe we could make a trade for something. Maybe you've got something in there that we could use. And maybe we've got something that would be good for you.
I don't know, it sounds like a bad deal to me, bro.
I mean, you don't even know what we have yet.
That's true. What do you got?
Oh, well, you know, just on my person, I've got an herbalism kit. I've got some, here, check out these javelins.
Javelins? Ugh, disgusting. Real kobolds only use slings.
Hey, I'll have you know I made these myself.
Ah,
Are these?
my condolences.
I'm honestly a little bit offended by that.
I give my condolences to your offense.
Hox is gonna
these-
make a... Oh, go ahead.
Edgy hipster kobolds? Is that what we're being confronted with here?
With your 19 insight. No, it seems there's something when he specifically says my condolences. It's almost a little too repetitive, almost like a broken record. Anytime he says something that seems to offend Hawks, it's like a repeated line. It's being fed to him.
Are you alright? Do you have anything that's causing you distress? Mentally, physically, or otherwise?
Oh man, I'm just surviving. Just like all of us, you know?
You know,
Well,
you...
So
seem to be a little bit ill. Is there anything I can do to help?
Well, you said you had things to trade. Do you have any particularly shiny rocks we could take a look at?
So you said that they seemed like they were being influenced somehow, right?
Like I said, it seems though it's just the way that they say what they're saying. Like they don't fully believe in it, if that makes sense. Like it's saying it half-heartedly, but there's like a strange, despite the fact that they're so lax, there's a small, and the Hawks would definitely see this now as well. There's a little bit of anxiety in there that, despite that it's present, is not being communicated. So either they're reluctant to say whatever it is, or something is preventing them from doing so. Like I said, it's you because you can't read minds. You don't have any maybe detection up. It's you can't say for certain, but something is happening here for sure.
What kind of shiny rocks are you looking for?
Well, shiny rocks that make you hear voices in your mind. If you got any of those, that'd be great.
As he brings that up, I'm going to communicate telepathically with him. Be like, yeah, voices in the mind are awful.
Oh yeah, just like that. Then you must have one too.
I'm taken aback slightly. Yes.
Who, you say?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be. And you see one of the kobolds kind of kicks him in the back. "Eh."
Yeah, we're looking for them. Can you hand it over? We'll give you something in return.
What do you got?
We got, uh,
He starts like rummaging through his pack as if like he's like and just starts rummaging. He just you see one of the other kobolds just takes him and just flips him upside down comically, just shaking him and the bag upside down, just out onto the snow. And you just see a bunch of just plain rocks just dump onto the ground. And you do see one crystal that looks surprisingly like the one that you have, Savage, but it's much, much smaller. Like it's almost like it's acorn sized. Yours, Savage, fits in the palm of your hand. It is basically like a grapefruit, the size of it. This is much smaller.
Like the size of a kobold.
Well, a kobold's a bit bigger than that, but yes.
Well, this is something that you seem to have a little more experience with, Savage. I was worried for a moment that they might have been messing around with that black ice stuff.
oh no, we don't mess around with that.
Well, good.
Why would you be gathering this type of gem?
Because it's cool.
Slow blinks again.
Is that the only reason why?
Ye.
Not working for anyone, are you?
If a kobold could sweat, because of your high insight checks, you don't need. You can pretty much tell that they're lying, but they're persisting with the ruse anyway.
You're working for them, aren't you?
Ox is gonna lean over to Meepo and be like, "Who's them?"
I really don't rightly know, but I think maybe he's bluffing. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I'll leave it to him then.
As soon as you say they, Savage, the main kobold you were speaking to starts to quiver and shake, and suddenly starts convulsing on the ground. Foam starts to build from his mouth.
Guys, toes.
Oh man, that sucks.
Right.
One of his comrades says.
That does not look healthy. Is he all right?
Yeah,
Good.
bro, everything's fine. It's all cool,
I'm gonna
man.
check him.
All right,
Is he-
Baked.
as you go and inspect the body, the head suddenly snaps back upward, and it lazily turns towards you, Savage. And where there was once a glimmer in the eye, there is now only a white, dull glazing over the eye.
Savage. So nice to see you again.
A voice comes.
Cut its head off.
Okay,
Right, that was spooky. What's going on, Savage? I'm confused.
roll an attack, Savage.
Is it like undead or is it just?
No, it's
It's Splorpy.
make a Savage is cutting his head off, so go and make an attack roll, Savage.
Is the thing prone?
Technically yes, so you have advantage. Oof, roll damage. 7. You cleave the head right off. And as the hands go straight, the hands almost go nonchalantly to the neck, and it just kind of does it kind of does the guess I'll die pose as it falls to the ground, and the other kobolds just kind of look towards look towards the body.
Oh man, that sucks, man. Well,
Better get back to it. And they just kind of take the bag that was on his back and just start walking away.
No. They know where
Ah.
he kill them.
You sure?
Right, why?
We don't need their spies hanging around.
That
Who are they though?
who are they spying on?
Us. Now,
Us like us four, or us like more than that?
us being points of interest, but us also being more than that.
You do pick up.
Right,
the
you're gonna have to
gemstone.
explain more after this, okay?
Yeah, and as that's happening, you suddenly hear the bounding of footsteps. Boom, boom, boom. As your Goliath werebear friend, now seeing Savage cut the head off of this individual.
What happened? Are we fighting? What? You must tell me what has transpired here.
Just a minute, I gotta. Somebody's ringing the doorbell.
Ah, I will wait for an explanation.
For doing that, I'm gonna step away for a moment. That's all right.
Fair enough. Little mini break.
I too shall take a moment to grab a fresh beverage.
Sounds pleasant. Also, Caleb, I love how your reaction was just like, as soon as I started doing that voice, oh, not hell nah, cut its head off.
Oh, I know how those work. It's held around and its head snaps up and a different voice comes out, it dies.
Yeah.
Can I hear that explanation again?
Yes, I would love an explanation.
I believe we're fighting, but well, we'll see.
Werebear kind of squints its eyes.
There's a lot we don't understand. Savage is making the calls here.
The werebear turns towards you, Savage.
You struck someone who was on the ground and prone. A seizure. I would like to know why.
Oh shit, he probably left too.
Who, me? What?
Go,
I'm here.
Caleb.
Okay. So I'm not sponsored. Okay. Just want to be very clear. I'm not sponsored, but there are these drinks. They're called sparkling ice. They're in these like tall cylindrical bottles. They're very, very like tall and skinny bottles, and they're about $1 each. And they're these delicious carbonated fruit drinks. And I'm diabetic. They have 0 sugar, which is nice. And they are amazing, and I don't often get them because there are certain flavors that I think taste absolutely disgusting, and then the rest are like super delicious. And I just know that if we order food, grocery delivery, that the person will make substitutions and it will be awful. But since I went to a store today and picked up a couple of things I wanted, I grabbed a handful of these, and they are super delicious, and I love them. Specifically, the flavors that I like are super delicious, and I love them. And there's a couple that are just like... and I don't think they're bad necessarily, it's just like... I'm not really fond of like blackberry or like raspberry on its own.
Fair enough.
Did we go into a commercial break because I left?
Well,
Not an actual
Yes.
commercial break because he's not sponsored.
Kobalto is not sponsored by Sparkling Ice.
Who even manufactured?
But like, we could be.
Look,
bring
man,
Right,
bring
if
us up.
Sparkling Ice wants to sponsor us, I'm not gonna stop them.
I'm not even Twitch affiliate, man. Like, but that's a like long road ahead. Like, not even.
If I'm gonna get paid to play D&D, I'll take it.
Dude,
And Sparkling Ice would be perfect for the kobolds.
Dude, that would be the dream right there. Getting sponsored to play D&D. That would be chef's kiss right there. Are you back, Caleb?
Yes,
Very good. In that case, your werebear companion squints down at you, almost seemingly to grip the axe as if to attack you, but is holding fast.
You struck someone on the ground.
Hopeless.
To be fair, he was being real spooky.
Yeah, I know you weren't over here to see this, but something other than him started talking through him, and it was not real good.
My biggest question is it something that we could get rid of and save their lives without killing them? Or are they already gone?
That is what I would have asked.
But Savage was too fast for me.
I'm sorry, Savage.
the only answer I can provide comes in one word. Illithid.
Alright, let me see if our Goliath friend knows what that is. No.
Is that something that we came across earlier, but we didn't know when we came across it? It was just something that we...
The only one of you who really knows any inkling of mind flayers besides Savage would have been Skanuk. Because we made this check earlier.
Right, that's what I thought.
Skanuk specifically knows of mind flayers because there was actually a very similar skull that was on display in the Arcane Brotherhood in the city of Luskan. And he learned a little bit about them. Creatures that have great power over the mind and in terms of domination and influencing others through their strange, aberrant power. And above all, feasting on brains. But that was pretty much all you really knew about them, other than perhaps they live in the Underdark as well. But that's about as much as like you would probably know about them, because they're not common. Like you don't just like see a mind flayer walking around. Like they're very rare.
Look, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that whatever took us Kobold over seemed to recognize Savage, and I don't know that it has very pleasant plans for him. And quite frankly, I think he made the right call trying to at least get it, the one that was currently possessed eliminated. The other ones, they're walking away. We can figure out what to do with them. But, this one, I think we had to do something.
If they are harmless, then leave them be. There's no need for murder.
Question. Did they take that shiny rock when they left?
They did not. Skunk actually snatched it, unknowingly
Okay.
to them, because they seemed like they were just either they were ordered to leave or they decided to get the hell out of there. Hard to say.
I'll say a couple things. A, I wouldn't exactly mark them as harmless if they are being controlled by the Talented. And B, yes, Canucket is those spooky squid guys that eat brains. Actually, you might call me a subject of experimentation from them.
So should we cut your head off then?
Do you really think that I would cut off the head of someone who I'm allied with? Have I cut your heads off yet?
That's true.
Anyway, I was able to escape their ship a few months back. And that's when I was found in the snow in the tundra until one of the whoever found me.
Yeah, some of the details are still fuzzy, Savage. It was a pretty traumatic time for you. See the werebear kind of mull it over.
And perhaps it is fate that brought us together, for me to show you the way. I can sense this past troubles you. Forgive me. I had not known it had caused you such anguish.
No hard feelings. But these things are gonna cause a lot more havoc in the future than they have in the past.
Well, havoc's something I can't abide. As Eldath says, havoc is no good. Or something
See?
like that.
You see the werebear kind of
I'll
nod
make
at that.
A wise saying from the priestess of Eldath. Let us be off. We have some evil to rid the world of today.
And she starts walking, beckoning you to follow her. And so you do. You start heading to the south, towards the spine of the world. You make your way through a few isolated sections of a forest. And as you do so, you start noticing that some of the tops of these trees are shorn completely off. There are sections of the forest that appear like something big and possibly cylindrical broke its way through this tree line in such a way to leave this semi-permanent mark to stain and wound this forest with its presence. And the direction that you go, to the south, matches this wounding. And eventually, you break the tree line. And at the very cusp, to which would be nightfall, you see the ground before you, bow inward, in almost like a U shape. As if something massive had fallen from the sky and impacted so strongly and so roughly that it gouged out the earth and led a massive trail that even the snow couldn't completely cover. And a few miles ahead, you see it. What you see defies everything you have ever seen before. At first glance, you might mistake it for a nautilus, a common sea creature. But it becomes very apparent that whatever this is by no means natural. Its very shell, some parts organic, plated with metal. And you see 3 sections, near the top, the middle, and the bottom, that have platforms sticking out of the shell. On the top, you see a section that caves into the top of the shell, leading into an almost makeshift doorway of sorts. Near the bottom, you see what appears to be a ballista, seemingly of gnomish make. Near the front of the ship, you see the biological part of the ship. Several tentacles dangling and drooping in the snow. You have found the source of the phantom signal. How do you approach?
Right, before we do anything, I think I better cast a spell here. Things are getting a bit serious. Up to 3 creatures, so I'll put it on myself. Hawks and Savage.
Cough.
Alrighty, so you put the blessing of Eldath, you give them the sort of this warm feeling comes over all of you. This pleasant feeling, almost like waves being lapped against your skin. This warmth rests inside you, and you gain the effects of aid.
I'm going to draw my shield and one of the Bloodfang javelins.
Alrighty.
I also want to look and see. We see something that looks like a ballista. Does it look like there's anything or anyone nearby who might man it?
Go ahead and make a perception check for me. (16). Currently, you do not see anyone who is manning any sort of station on the ship. You just hear the sound of the wind howl around you. I will ask you, though, what are your passive perception scores?
14.
14, okay.
12.
12, alright. 14.
Passive perception, you said?
Correct.
15.
15. Alright. Very good. As you begin to approach, you hear this burrowing sound. And it's like coming from around you, like beside you. You kind of like turn your heads around and try and look for the source. When suddenly, out of the snow, pops two mucus-coated creatures, maggot-like in their form. These two creatures chitter and squeal as they surround you. You are not surprised because your passive perceptions were quite good. However, I will need everyone to roll initiative in just a second as I switch the battle map over.
Yes, we need
Right, because I
tokens.
do need to click my token.
Oh, I don't like these. I don't like them.
So these guys.
I don't like a lot of stuff going on here. Oh, why did I...
We shouldn't have Sinar with us, right?
You should not, because I think I prepared for him to be here, but then he went away.
Went on a vision quest.
he did go on a vision quest. That's exactly what he did.
Oh, I guess I do have the... aid.
Hang on.
That's what aid.
No, not that one. I love this one. That'll be on the back burner. But right now, I need... how about this one? That'll work. Alrighty. Let's get down to business to defeat Karen crawlers.
Dumworms. Oh. Oh.
Let's see. 1 Alright. Apparently they're going first.
I don't like this.
However, your werebear guide will also have a say in this. Their dex is not as impressive, though. Still not bad, despite that. If I can actually add you the turn order, that would be great. I have to make sure to adjust the camera on the stream as well. Make sure that is correct. And that'll work for now. Oh, actually, how about that? Yeah, that'll work. Okie dokie. So, as the creatures emerge from the snow, the first one immediately goes for... the werebear guide, it seems. It's gonna make some attacks against your guide. One with its tentacles. That's gonna be a 24 to hit your werebear friendo. Alright, so she needs to make a con save. Thankfully, her con is pretty good. And she rolls a natural 20. Alright, excellent. She will still take 6 points of poison damage. You'll see as her muscles start to tense and freeze up, but thankfully she shrugs that off. However, you will still get a bite attack against her. Oh man, rolling hot. Alright. That is gonna be 9 points of damage. Man, rolling really hot. Something that you do notice, as the creature bites into her, you notice that the wounds that she takes slowly heal back up as her werebear nature begins to show itself even more so. The creature does not like that one bit. It screeches and hisses at the werebear and hisses and scurries over to this side, which will provoke an attack of opportunity from her. Let's do a good old great axe against it. That seems fun. Which will hit. Ooh, it takes 17 points of damage.
She didn't get properly sorted in initiative order.
She didn't, but that's gonna be fixed right now.
Excellent.
Excellent. The other one, going to scurry over this way, as its many different little centipede-like legs skitter. It's going to choose between Skanuk, Meepo, and Hux. Skanuk 1 to 2, Meepo 3 to 4, so on and so forth. Skanuk, you're getting whapped with some tentacles.
Son of a...
Does a 17 hit you?
No.
Good. Good thing, too. Alright. Alright. Second attack. Going against... Meepo. Oh, does an 11 hit you, Meepo?
Double checking. No.
Alright. The creature goes to wrap Skanuk in its tentacles, but is bounced off by his weird contraptions. And in the bouncing off of that shield, the worm is careened into Meepo, which tries to bite at her, but she manages to dodge out of the way. So that is the carrion crawler's turn. Skanuk, it is now your turn.
Let's see. First of all, having none of this. None of this bullshit. So I'm going to Thunder Wave.
Alright. Which direction?
So that...
You're gonna try and hit the one on
Actually-
your left or the one below you? Or...
I'm definitely going for the one adjacent to. Oh, I'm sorry. One moment.
Wait, hold on. For some reason, the stream is saying that one creature... What the hell? Wait, what?
My apologies.
No, don't be. I'm looking
Okay.
at the stream, and on my screen, the carrion crawler, the one that's to your... Because, there's the one carrion crawler that's below you, but the other one...
How many carrion crawlers are supposed to be there?
There's supposed to be two, but
Okay, so I'm seeing one up here and one right here.
here's the thing.
I'm seeing the same.
Here's the thing, though. It's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be next to Savage.
Which one?
It's
The
supposed to
one
be
up here?
here. And on my screen, it's there.
Okay.
That's...
Refresh.
It's north of.
I'm gonna
The stream is also showing it the way we're seeing it. So I would say refresh from the device you're doing your GM stuff from, and then move it.
Right.
Sure. Alright, that's super weird. Which is weird, because the other carrion crawler is, in the right position, and I moved that one, so that makes no sense at all. It doesn't matter too much, it's just, weird.
Right.
Strange.
Alright, refreshing. Okay.
I have refreshed it. It is still where it was.
Oh, wow. I guess it just didn't pick up where... Wow, it's so strange. Alright, well, here's where it should be. Bam.
Okay. It has moved.
There we go. Okay. Good. Skanuk, you were going to do something before I rudely interrupted you.
God, there's two of them, Jason.
It's a cube, right?
It is a cube.
believe.
I would definitely eat 2 opportunity attacks if I try to get both of them. I could. How does fairy fire work? Any creature? Nope. That's a bad idea. Scorching ray this early?
Well, if you Scorching Ray, you'll be at disadvantage because they're adjacent to you.
But they're also adjacent to my allies.
That is also true.
And I am a kobold.
Indeed you are. So you know what? Ignore me.
No, you were right. He was just right too.
We're both right.
Multiple rights.
If you do 4 rights, you end up in the same spot.
2 rights make a right.
That's true. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to firebolt the one below me.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead and make that attack roll then.
Actually, no, I'm going to firebolt the one next to Savage because there's a slightly greater chance he'll hit me.
Fair enough.
So, firebolt 11.
11.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it hits the thick, mucousy hide of the creature and it bounces off its thick carapace, and it screeches and hisses at you.
Unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. You have a bonus action, or are you good?
Firebolt is a normal action. Pretty sure the cannon is an action. So, yeah. That's, I guess that's my turn?
Alright.
Yes, that's my turn.
Okay, in that case, your werebear guide boom, 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 brings the great axe over her head and slashes downward. Twice. Okay, well, the second one will miss, but the first one will catch the creature on the side of its jaw for 12 points of damage, greatly damaging this creature, bloodying it. Alrighty. That is her turn. Savage, is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to do what I do and rage.
You rage.
The anger intensifies.
Angie.
And rage, just go ahead and do the tail for, kicks and giggles.
Solid pick.
And then we're going to recklessly attack the crawler next to me.
Alright, go ahead and roll. Natural 20. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Wow.
That's a lot of damage.
Damn.
that's a lot of damage.
Do these things count as getting mortal wounds or whatever those are?
Well, it didn't matter because it's
It's dead.
dead.
Okay.
You
So,
rolled
yes,
almost
it is a
max
mortal
damage
wound.
there.
Right.
You rolled
when
a
I
9
said
and a
mortal, I
10.
didn't actually mean it because I couldn't remember the word, but this is actually
Yeah.
more apt than I meant.
You slice the creature across its midsection, bisecting the creature as its 2 halves just part 5 feet from each other. Your werebear friend snarls, "An excellent blow."
And I got one more coming. As I move and make another attack.
All right. Okay, 22. Go and roll damage. Ooh, 12 points. Very nice, very nice. As you run over, you slice it across its mandible. It hisses and squeals at you in pain.
Beepo. Molo.
Who's been hit?
I think just the guide so far.
Okay.
I have 3 points of damage from earlier.
Right.
And it
For
seems
one.
like most of the wounds, the physical wounds at least, have not let's say they've recovered from it a little bit. You might know why. Who do you wish to heal, though?
I don't think I'm going to heal anyone. I'm just taking stock of the situation.
Ah, fair enough.
I think I'll take the dodge action.
Very fair.
Oh, wait. Even better.
Ah.
For Hawks and...
Excellent. And then
There.
that way I don't have to use a roar.
Mm-hmm.
I love the many different ways this party gains advantage. It's just
Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me! Oh!
squeals of confusion. Hoxie boy.
That gives me two attacks at advantage with my fancy new javelins. 25.
That'll definitely hit.
For piercing, I don't know if it takes the cold, but
It does in fact take the cold. Something that you notice about these creatures is that even though they seem to be like tunneling through the snow, it does not seem like they are acclimated to this climate. You can see wear and tear of these creatures. As it's very clear, this is not their natural habitat from the way that they're acting. And from the fact that you see metallic collars dangling, like broken, but dangling below their necks.
Oh.
alright, and so if I don't finish it off with my second attack, it won't be able to use both an action and a reaction, my ability to form sentences has just failed me for the third time tonight, but the text is there. You know what it does.
I know. I know what it does. Don't worry. Ooh, 19 to hit. Go and roll damage.
I will bop it again
All right.
with my fancy javelin.
Alrighty, minus 10. Alright, it is still up. However, it already failed the first one, so it doesn't matter for the second one. But first save it failed. So.
And as a bonus action, because of Shield Master, I can attempt to shove against it.
Okay.
Actually, no, I don't want to.
No?
I don't want to do that because I don't want to move it outside of Meepo's Gravel Cower. Yeah, so I am going to hold off on taking a bonus action. I'm just going to stab it twice. Actually, I will move around it to try to give it less avenues to get away.
Well, Gravel Cower
You
is
shove it
within
through?
10 feet, yeah? If you only bop at 5 feet, she'd still be within the range.
Yes, but now that I'm looking at this, I'm thinking about the ways it could slip away on its own turn.
Fair enough.
And I'm trying to prevent that from happening.
Fair enough.
Do you shove it prone?
No, it's just a pushback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me see if I can look up the rules for shoving.
Shoving lets you knock a creature prone.
Does it?
Yeah, if it doesn't specify whether it just says shove a creature within 5 feet of you with your shield. It doesn't specify whether that's pushing away or knocking prone, so therefore it's the shove action. So
Alright, I will do that. I will attempt to knock it prone then. I'm still going to move around it though to do that. So, strength athletics contested by the target, strength athletics or dexterity. So,
it's not too good on either of those, so we'll see.
and I rolled a 25.
It rolled pretty well, but not close enough. You knock it prone.
Yes. So Hawks will shoulder his shield after stabbing it and try and push it to the ground.
Bonk! You hear a sickening crunching sound as the shield crunches into the face of the carrion crawler and knocks it prone.
Oh,
All
come to
right.
think of it, what does prone look like on a worm?
It's wriggling and thrashing all over the place.
Is this thing not immune to being prone?
Nope.
Wow.
I mean, it's not like an ooze where it's like, you can't tell which side is
Yeah.
the front, which side's the back, but
Yes, that's true.
Even purple worms aren't even immune to the prone condition.
I just never thought about it.
It would be like throwing it on its back and having the underbelly sticking up.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and that will be Hox's turn.
Excellent, excellent. That brings us back to the carrion crawler's turn. It will use its movement to get back up. It's not looking so good though, so it's gonna. Let's see. Meepo's an unattractive target at the moment because she's dodging. So between Savage, Skanuk, and Hox. Savage it is. Bet. So that is going to be. Does a 16 hit you? Savage. Pardon me. Does a 16? Ah.
No, it does not.
Okay. So, while the tentacles
that's
miss
hard.
you, it's going to attempt to bite you with its mandibles. A 24, I believe, will hit you, though.
Yes. Bite 4.
Alright, thankfully, you don't need to worry about the tentacles, so the bite is just going to be 8 points of damage, reduced down to 4 because of your rage.
Yep.
Alright, and with that, the creature will look around, kind of like screech and kind of like cower a little bit in its little hidey hole. It's going to attempt to move away dumbly. So you all get attacks of opportunity.
Except me.
Except you, yes.
Would it still be within Meepo's grovel cower when I get that attack?
It would, yes.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
19 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Ooh. Okay. Somehow still up. Ooh, Skanuk, you hit it. 5. Meepo, do you also attempt to hit it?
If I attempt to hit it, this will be my first time attacking in this game, and I'm not sure I want that to be against the worm.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I picture people like almost going for the swing and be like, no, Eldath wouldn't want this.
It's
right.
like
I'm still graveling, cowering, and begging. That's what's going on.
it's like
Right.
you 100% commit to the bit. It's like, no, I am a support cleric. 100%. You don't understand.
If there's like a boss who's escaping and I'm the only one next to it and it seems like it might die, I might attack it for the sake of peace. Maybe.
Exactly. All right. So
This thing will probably kill it. It'll be fine.
yeah, it'll be fine. It's looking pretty ragged. So Skanuk, it's your turn.
Turn once again.
Indeed.
Fireball.
Yes.
All right, light that sucker up. Ooh, yeah, go ahead and roll damage. Excellent.
Well,
How would you like to kill the creature?
Like I said, it's fine.
just like little bolts of fire to the back of the head.
As its skin begins to crackle and break in, it falls to the snow, dead. And now, combat for now has ended.
It's just occurred to me that because I've switched from a crossbow to like like an arcane firearm pistol, I could actually pick up a shield. Be a much tougher artificer. So Skunk is like eyeing this metal hull with some interest, with a scavenger's eye.
All right. So, your guy kind of stands there for a minute, kind of surveying the crawlers, inspecting them. Curious creatures. Definitely not from around here. I've seen them before, but not this far north. Strange markings as well. I've never seen one with these patterns before.
Skunk is gonna, I guess, loot the bodies. He'd be like taking those collars you mentioned and taking a look at them, and also probably trying to get a vial of the poison spit they had.
Oh, the poison? Yeah. Let's see. Why don't you go ahead?
I would aid in this endeavor.
Sure. If you're just getting the collars, that's easy enough. They're pretty much just kind of. It's weird. It's seemingly that they're implanted in the neck, and it's like they're implanted by like very sharp needles that are kind of like just jabbed into the neck, and it's not too difficult to pry them off. It's just a little gross because a little bit of the gook comes out of the holes. Just pull it out. Like that. That's the easy part. The hard part is going to be getting this venom. So what I want you to do, because there's two of them, go ahead and well, first, I don't think you have proficiency in poisoner's tools, do you? I don't think so.
Let me check.
So no, you have tinkers, you have thieves, you have smith's tools.
Can artificers still do that thing where they switch their proficiency in tools? Or is that something from the UA?
You can magically create one set of artisan's tools in an unoccupied space. Yeah, it doesn't appear that I'm actually proficient.
Okay, so what you can do, go ahead and make a nature check for me. Now, because Meepo is helping you, you will get advantage. So we'll see.
Okay.
That's the exact DC that you needed for one of them. So, you gain 1 vial for 1 usage of carrion crawler poison. Or venom, I should say.
Excellent. More
That's
animation
all.
for the catapult spell.
Indeed. And now for the second one.
Nature.
Natural
Oh
20.
yeah.
This one goes by much quicker. You get a second vial of carrion crawler venom.
Convenient.
Very convenient. Let's go ahead and put those on your sheet.
Yep.
Weber kind of watches as you do this. And then she kind of stands up and kind of strokes her chin and gives her a wry smile. You all have proven yourselves to make it this far. A very, not a challenging battle. What say you all to a friendly wager?
I'm all for friendly things. What kind of wager?
Well, as I have good faith in your abilities for combat, I would wager that you could perhaps make it through and defeat whatever lies within without needing to rest. If you succeed in this, I will give you a very nice gift. But
Well, I haven't used any spells yet, or any of my
I've
abilities.
only used the one. Can I do an insight on this?
Sure, go ahead.
It would be an insight on our group, wouldn't it?
Well, it depends on what you're trying to
17.
insight.
I'm wondering, like, is this like trying to goad us into overextending and like screwing us over somehow, or is it like an
you're
actual?
inciting the.
I'm inciting the Goliath. Yeah.
You know that she is a Goliath, and in general, though it does not apply to all Goliaths, in general, many Goliath tribes pride themselves on intense forms of competition. This may just be a form of that.
You don't think it has any sort of malicious intent. This is merely trying to push you, to seeing how strong you are and how far you can go.
Well, I think that's possible, but I'm not going to risk our lives on a bet.
Fair enough.
So if we do take this bet, I think we will take a rest if we need it. We'll just
We can certainly
consider the
we can
best.
try though.
Right.
I was about to say, if you succeed, he kind of pulls out this fishing rod. I will give you this, a magical fishing rod.
That would have been useful a while back.
Oh,
It still can be useful.
Suppose that's true.
I need. Yeah, Aaron.
Say, is anyone interested in taking up bear lycanthropy?
He kind of squints at you. I do not pass the curse on lightly, small one.
It's kind of in the eye of the beholder. Is it a curse or is it a boon? I don't know.
The eyes narrow further. Be that as it may. Go ahead.
Might be correct. I already am kind of like quarter lycanthrope-esque. Maybe an eighth lycanthrope. I don't know. Recently, I've been able to develop the ability to grow like bigger claws and bigger teeth and bigger tails. I don't know.
My gift would be squandered on you, yes. She kind of gives a huff and a kind of a small smirk at that. However, if you would fail said wager, I would ask a small favor. Nothing untoward. My goals lie with helping the people in the Dale. And I suspect you all like to help people as well. Well, for the most part. And she looks over towards you, Savage, again.
This sounds like you're about to suggest something that we might volunteer to do anyway.
True, but I want to make a game of it.
Fair enough.
I suppose it's
Look.
peaceable, so I don't have a problem with it.
See, everybody wins. Even if you lose, you win. So why not take on the challenge? See what you're really made of.
Here's a question. Were you gonna come with us, or are you gonna stay out here?
I will stay here. And keep an eye out for anything that might try and interrupt your challenge. Wouldn't want anything to spoil the fun, now would we?
Fair enough.
This I swear
Let's-
to you, nothing will interrupt you while I am out here. You hear a honk, except perhaps that, but she'll be fine.
Alright, let's crack this
beast.
flying squid wide open.
Bean, you're coming with us.
Oh, okay. Sure thing.
Or, well, maybe not. Just give us a couple good
oh,
berries.
thank goodness, I do not want to go in there. That thing, it just is wrong. Don't
It's way easier to carry the good berries anyway.
Yeah, here, take like 3. She kind of just throws them at you.
Okay. If anybody's used a good berry already, go ahead and add one if you don't have one. I'm going to add one because I've used my good berry.
And Bean starts to crawl up on your werebear guide.
Do not have a good berry to hand, so I will be.
Just having a good berry on you is a good way to, if somebody needs to revive you from death.
Yep.
Just stick it in your mouth.
Alright, so, how do we get into this, well, frankly, unpleasant looking device?
That is a wonderful question.
So,
Savage, you're the one that might know.
Savage, you remember breaking out from this terrible thing on the bottom deck through a set of double doors. That is where you remember it being. And Hawks just goes right up.
I kind of wanted to look at this ballista here.
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Knuckle assist.
You probably have the better investigation, honestly. Maybe you should make it an all assist.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you have a +7. I have a +0.
Hey, you know
so,
what? Go ahead and try. I'm curious to see where this goes.
Yeah, no.
I mean, you could have rolled well, but you know, as good as you are with crafting and smithing, this is a bit beyond you. It does seem gnomish make for sure, but that's as much as you can tell.
Hux will point out some of the more obvious mechanisms so that Skinnuck can look at the more nitty-gritty things.
Indeed. So, with Hawks pointing out the more basic functions of the ballista, it becomes quite apparent that this ballista is more advanced than any you've seen before. Not necessarily in mechanically superior, but mostly in its design and how it's implemented. Specifically, when you're loading this ballista, it seems that you don't need a team of people. You only need one person to do so. It is very sleek and very easily manageable. You also notice from this perspective, there is as you look up, you see that there is in fact a second ballista on the middle layer.
Oh, okay. So could that upper ballista aim down at us?
It could, yes. However, currently you do not see anyone there.
Could this ballista be turned around to aim inside?
As you attempt to do so, it seems to be operating on a swivel, on a pivot joint. You kind of turn it around slowly, but yes, it can actually aim up there.
So we could open the door and take shots with this ballista.
Very possibly.
Into the hole.
Would you like to do the honors?
I think doing the honors is one of Skinnuck's favorite parts.
Alright, I'll assist if it needs a little help to turn the thing around.
It's just readied up. Do we have is there a supply of bolts around here, or are we only getting one?
It seems like there is only one bolt loaded in. You don't see any others currently.
Oh.
How large are the bolts? Could I potentially load one of these chitin javelins in?
The bolts are actually quite sizable. Despite the fact that it's meant for convenience, they are still very sizable. If you you could theoretically put your javelin in, but with the force launched, despite it being magical, there's a chance your javelin might break from being used in such a manner. It is possible.
Well, I'm not talking about the tooth ones. I still have 4 of the javelins we took from the Dwergar.
Oh,
chitin javelins.
Yes, those would definitely break on impact, though.
I care a lot less about them. I'll hand all 4 of them off to Skinnuck.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be ballista damage. It would be javelin damage, but you could do the same effect.
Yeah, hey, there's potentially a few more shots to be taken if you think that would be useful.
If I think about it, the normal ballista damage
is that Bowser drinking water in the background?
Yeah. I have a bucket filled with water that because it gets hot in my room sometimes, so it's nice to get him some water, especially because as a bulldog, the heat is a bit harder for him. So, yeah, that's what you hear. Sorry. That's gonna
Yeah,
be
it's all good.
But yeah, so ballistic damage is normally 3d10, I believe. I'll say the javelin will do 1d10 instead of its 1d6 if launched from the ballista.
All right.
All right. So, Savage, do you kick open the chitinous doors in front of you?
Quietly.
Wow, that was really thirsty. Jeez.
Quietly kick in.
I don't know if you could quietly kick in the door, but I will let you kick in the door nonetheless.
Okay.
It's like you stand on one leg and you just like
Before
slowly
he
push
does,
it
I'm
in
going
with
to do
your
the
foot.
emboldening bond.
Unless you're like you put your foot up against the door and just slowly push it open.
Who's getting
They're
the
dramatic
bond?
slow motion that I'm in slow motion, but everyone else isn't. And they're just like, "What are you doing?"
Exactly. All right, if you want to do that, just go ahead and roll a stealth check then if you're doing that.
I'm going to do emboldening bond on the other three.
Okay. You think that you're being quite stealthy as you open the door. And let me do a little bit of reveal tooling here.
You also have the emboldening bond, so you can add a d4 to it.
You could, if you wanted. Not bad. And first opening it, you hear a slight cracking sound, like breaking a cracker in half, but it's stifled slightly by something wet on the ground. As you slowly push the doors open, you see what appears to be a hold of some kind. Attached to the walls of this chamber, you see 3 sets of chains and manacles designed to hold what you think might be large creatures, or what used to hold large creatures. You see a staircase that rises to what you assume is the next deck, amid crates, barrels, and broken bits of equipment. Moving around this detritus are 4 creatures. 3 of them you see are small, repulsive, purple things that float above the ground. They're tiny little gnome-sized bodies levitating up in the air, but their 2 front tentacles are too heavy for them to lift off the ground, so they're slowly maneuvering their way across the ground and making these little burping and gurgling sounds as they're wandering through. The 4th figure, however, is a lumbering monstrosity made of flesh, stitched together. You see a goblin's ear, a dwarven beard, and reindeer parts. You see horns and fur stitched together from across the body with 2 hooves. As the creature lumbers slowly, moving around things in the hold. Slowly lumbering around.
Hey, Savage, you're not missing any parts you might want to preserve from that thing, huh? You're not like, you don't have any organs that might be in there, do you?
Pretty sure I'm working pretty normally. I think we're good here. I haven't found any scars of anything. Not really. Just emotional.
Okay, well that makes it a bit easier to deal with then.
Is the original ballista bolt made of metal?
It is, yes.
Excellent.
Heat metal and use it on the golem.
Yep. Yeah. As soon as I can, I guess draw a bead on the golem, I'd like to fire.
Okay. In
You
that
guys want to
case-
like, unless you guys want to like make a plan, but like Skellix is gonna be like, hell no.
That's a great plan. Go for it.
All right. In that
Meanwhile,
case,
I'm gonna cast Beacon of Hope.
all right. Fair enough. Go ahead and roll initiative again.
All right.
Okay. Let's.
Oops. I rolled 7,
Okay.
but I forgot to click my token this time.
So, emboldening bond and initiative.
Attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Initiative, I think, is an ability check.
Yeah. So technically,
Yeah.
it would count.
A dexterity ability check.
Okay, well, in that case, I'll go up to 11, I guess.
That's an interesting
I'll go
point.
for
I never
20.
thought of it that way.
We all have our shit together even more.
Yeah, that makes it even a better ability than I thought.
Well, in if you look at the Jack of all trades or the champion fighters remarkable athlete ability, it lets you add your a half of your proficiency bonus.
I never. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about that.
It's a cool feature of initiative that is not thought of.
All right.
But being a person who entered a initiative-based character into a character creation contest, I have done far too much study on initiative.
Fair enough. Also, we're wizards. Hell yeah. They got some good stuff going on with their abilities.
Along with barbarians, swashbucklers, and blade singers.
Oh, that's right, blade singers. I need some cool music right here. Yeah. All right. Not as much tempo as I'd like, but that's good enough. All right, so let's see. Let's modify some initiative here. Oh no, not 121. You're not that good.
Yes! I go the most first.
You went far and beyond. So Hawks in that case. Hawks is still below. Let's see. Other than that, I think.
Meepo still needs to be added.
Right, I rolled a 7,
He rolled a 7.
and my dexterity is 15, so 7.15.
Right. Alright.
Then you correctly add your bond to it.
No, I didn't do emboldening bond on myself because I can only do it on 3 right now.
Alright, so Skanuk, as the fate would have it, you pointing the ballista go first. If you wish to fire the ballista bolt, roll a 1d20 plus 5.
Okay. So is it like action to fire, bonus action to load?
It seems
Or
to be.
how exactly does
Yes.
it? Okay, cool. And I'll have to cast heat metal next turn probably. I think that's an action spell. Yep, okay. Yep, I'm gonna fire on the biggin.
Alrighty. 1d20 plus 5. Let's see it.
Slash R. 5. Alright, okay.
Emboldening bond.
Unfortunate.
Emboldening bond.
Emboldening bond. Will it be enough? 11. No, not 11. 13.
That is enough. Go ahead and roll damage.
Already
What is
pulling
that?
my weight.
Yep. What is the damage?
3d10.
Nice. 14 damage.
14 13 points of damage. Let me double check something here. As the bolt pierces into the skin, you see the golem look down, seemingly unharmed by it.
Yeah.
But it is sticking right out of it. It is stuck fast into the creature. So you have that going for you, which is nice.
Well, fair enough then. Ah, shit.
It just kind of looks towards you and just, because it didn't take any damage, just going, huh?
Oh, I should have chanted it first. Oh well. I hope it's just from non-magical attacks and not. Okay. I guess I'll spend my bonus action to load a javelin.
Alright. Savage.
I'm going to storm in, and I'm going to move here.
Alright. As you run in, the little squid-like creatures kind of like squeal like, and they start like panicking, like waving their hands up in the air.
And I'm going to make 2 attacks on this one.
Okay. Okay, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Okay, 7 points of damage. Alright. Go ahead and roll again. 13 points. Alright, with that, the creature lets out a pitiful little gurgle and deflates and falls to the ground, dead. And the other 2 little squid-like creatures just start squealing and panicking, throwing their hands up in the air and just running in circles, or rather, gliding in circles. Very pathetically.
Well, good thing the bear's here to see this.
You thought? No, I'm just kidding. He just comes up from behind the door. This was a test and it failed.
You've just been punked.
In any case, though, is that your turn?
Yes, it is.
Alright. So, the squidlings fly behind the detritus and they will attempt to hide.
Now I kind of feel bad.
Aw, babies. They have -2 to their dex. Oh no. You clearly see them hiding behind the detritus. Their little butts hanging up behind the. Their heads are like buried in the junk, and their behinds are just like floating up in the air. Clearly visible.
The one that moved away from me, if it didn't disengage, I
Nope.
hit it for 8.
Alright, you hit it for 8. A very obvious blood trail leads right to where it is, damning it further. Alright. Hawks, Hagnar.
All right. I don't like these guys. They're up to something. So Hawks is going to run around the corner. I'm going to use one of my roars. Roar. And I'm going to start trying to bop squidlings.
Okay.
Now, were they taking dodge? Am I at normal or am I...
No, they tried to hide from you, and they failed miserably, so these are normal.
Alright, so I'm going to take 2 stabs at this first, or a stab at the first one.
Ooh, yeah, that's a hit, alright, and no matter what you do, you're gonna kill it, so this one gets stabbed and deflates.
and then I will jump up on the crate where it was and throw my second stab.
Ooh, that hits.
And it needs to do a con save if it survives.
It does not. They are not. You quickly come to realize that these were not very hardy creatures, but instead very fragile. As the third and final one falls to the ground, deflated and very much dead.
I kind of feel bad about that, but not too bad because they seem like scheming little bastards.
You just hear as it takes its last breath.
Alright, and so that was my action and bonus action. So that is it for me, I think. Yeah.
All right, Meepo Molo, go right ahead.
That's a shame, but I don't think those things were natural, so I'm not sure how to feel about that.
Ah, we
That
finally
being
found the
said,
line that Meepo can cross.
I don't know how I feel about it. I'm gonna have to pray long and hard about it for later.
Aberrations aren't people, right? Ooh. Ooh, boy.
I just like in a different campaign, in a world far from this one, you just hear a sad flump just go, oh.
No, Meepo would protect a flump in a heartbeat.
Poor Fred the flump.
Like disapproving stare from Eldeth.
Meepo, your amulet, your holy symbol shatters. No. No, but what do you wish to do, Meepo?
Sanctuary on myself,
Wise.
and I'm gonna move in towards Hawks.
Interesting.
That's a bonus action. No, I think I'll just stay back there. And I guess I'll cast resistance on myself.
Very good. All right. So, that is your turn, which means it brings us finally to the flesh golem. Upon seeing the little squidlings die, it starts to huff. And it now gets to choose who it's going to pummel into pulp. Hawks.
Alright.
It's gonna bop you twice with its fists. It's gonna punch you. Here comes the haymaker. No, it doesn't.
Block for the shield. Yep, that one hits me.
All right, you will take. Where the heck is the damage? There it is. You take 15 points of bludgeoning damage as the fist impacts in your stomach. And the air just like just escapes from your lungs for a second. And as it towers over you, it'll pass its turn. Skanuk.
Definitely should have known better. Let's see. Well, see no reason to mess with the really fun plan. Heat metal.
Okay.
Let me check if the arcane firearm damage actually applies. I assume it does not. But let me actually look up the rule for arcane firearm.
Yeah, look that up. I'm not sure if that actually comes into effect either.
When you cast an artificer spell
Okay, that failed.
through the firearm,
Gain a bonus to one of the spell's damage rolls equals the number rolled. So actually, I think it does because it counts as it's used as a spellcasting focus.
Oh, okay, so never mind then, that it would apply.
Yeah, it's not attack rolls. It's just when you cast a spell through this fire.
Interesting. Okay, well, we'll have to keep note of that then.
But it should only work on the first turn.
Okay, so because it's embedded in it, you can't really drop it per se, even though it succeeded on the save. So it'll just take the damage, and as it does, you can see it starts to get this look of fear in its eyes. It's still looking pretty hardy, but at the very least, you're at least now able to do some damage to it.
Excellent. And yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for me.
Okay. Alrighty. Savage.
Okay, I am going to move up to it. And I will use my second rage. And recklessly attack twice.
Alright, very good, very good. Alright, 19 will definitely hit. Ooh.
At maximum damage, though.
That max damage, though. That definitely hurt it, and that definitely hurt it as well. As you slash into this creature, as it begins to scream in its muffled gargled tongue, it just wildly swings around, hoping to connect. But is that your turn?
Yes.
Alrighty. Squidlings, no longer in play. They are dead. Hawks.
I do not have advantage against this thing.
Correct.
So can I invoke something else? Do I have enough space to go big? But then I might have trouble with the stairwell, so I'm actually just gonna not do that right now.
Ah, the complexities of becoming big.
Debating action surging, but I'm gonna save that as well. I'm gonna do this a little bit like I'm saving my resources. And I'm just going to make 2 attacks and a shove. So, 1 attack.
Oh, that definitely hits.
1 attack.
Alright, that also hits.
Con saves from him.
Okay, so I don't to take charge of the damage first. That's 8, and then 6. So actually, it's 8 both ways, so it's my 16. Okay. Okie dokie. So it's 2 con saves. Here we go. It will succeed both of them, however.
And then I will try to shove it down.
Okay.
Not do too great, but, maybe it'll do worse.
We'll see. It's strength bonus.
You could add emboldening bond to it.
Yep, actually, yep. We'll turn it into a 15.
Very good. Let's see if what you can do with that. A 9, you'll be knocked prone.
Yep, I will shove it down.
As you poke into it twice with your spear, you clunk it in the head, and it just goes careening backward. Very good. All right, are you done?
Yep, that'll be it. I'll hold position here.
Alrighty, Meepo, Molo.
Did I get a chance to cast Beacon of Hope earlier?
You would have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did have it going. So I'm concentrating on that.
Correct.
That lasts for 1 minute. Okay.
All right.
I suppose. Grovel, cower, and beg just in case.
Very well.
Oh no! Don't hurt us! Don't hurt us!
It's
It's like on the ground.
It's like on the ground and just kind of looks up. Well, also on fire. So, at the beginning of its turn, the creature, with all of its wounds, you see its muscles start to tense. Its eyes, which were a sickly yellow color, begin to turn blood red as the creature goes, or attempts to go, berserk. Alright, it maintains control of itself. Stands up. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3. So let's see what it's gonna attack. It's gonna attack you, Savage, as you propped up behind it. You did a significant chunk.
And at advantage.
With advantage, yes. Plus 7. 17 to hit you. For the first one. 22 for the second one, though.
Yes.
You will take 14 points of damage, reduced down to 7. As the creature batters its fist against your thick, scaly hide. And that's its turn. However, at the top of the round, the only ones who would hear this are the ones who are currently inside the building. Hawk, Savage, and Meepo. From the stairs above, you see... Actually, no, you would hear first this weird kind of slurping, gurgling sound, similar to that of these weird squid-like creatures. But then, something strange happens. These gnome-sized creatures glide down from the stairs, wielding guns? Or something similar to flintlock pistols? You've never seen anything like them before. These creatures are around the size of gnomes, like I said, but they have these long flowing purple robes that seem to glide behind them when they float down. With these very tall popped collars, and I'm bumping into my microphone. These short squid tentacles come from their maw as they wiggle around as they look towards you, Savage. Well, we could have solved this amicably, but I guess we're gonna have to put you back in the cage, Savage. Oh well, killed a squidling. It's your own fault. Fuck you. So now they're added to the initiative order.
I say to them, well, hello, Randy and Scandal. You again, too.
1 second. Let's learn names. I'm Dredovex and he's Vorin. Get right.
Fuck
Typical.
Randy and Scandal, nobody cares.
Whatever. We abducted you from that boring world and this is our thanks for it? What an ungrateful pet you were. And they're in El Nino order now. So they're going to share initiative. So Dredovex and Vorin will go on initiative count 10. Skunuk, though, it is now your turn. They're currently floating above the door, so you can't actually aim at them. But you could still have a good shot at the golem.
Well, the javelin I have is not. It's not like a fancy javelin. It's just made of chitin.
It's just made of chitin, yes.
Would I be able to tell if that would work or not? Like, I'm assuming that the reason the first one didn't work is because it wasn't magical, because everything else seems to have been worked pretty well.
I'd say from this point, the fact that you see the weapons that are magical working, you can put 2 and 2 together.
Hey.
The chitin probably wouldn't work because it didn't seem to be magical when it was used, so it probably wouldn't work or they have the intended effect.
Well,
it sucks because it was such a fun idea, and like I'm just like, oh, he's immune to. Oh, sorry guys, but at least the heat metal worked.
Yep. Knuck is gonna release a long, heartfelt sigh. Deal the damage to the guy.
All right.
Heat metal. That's a bonus action, right?
Yeah, once it's
not
on.
just the end of my turn. All right. I was just trying to remember if it was something I need to activate or not. I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, 11 points of damage. Nasty.
Yep.
Still up, but he's looking real hurt.
As he well should. And then he's going to walk up to here to get a line on those guys and cast Shatter on them.
Oh shit. Alright. That's going to destroy a bunch of shit in here. Right.
The loot! The loot! But damage.
But damage, though. Alright, so their con is not
10-foot radius sphere.
good.
So that'd be... So you see, like, Snuck scurry up to the door, like, attaching some sort of weird... It looks a bit like one of those ancient rifle grenades. Not ancient, but like, early rifle grenades, where it was a grenade on a stick that you loaded into a rifle, and then you shot the rifle and it would launch a grenade.
Mm-hmm.
He's loading one of those into his arcane pistol, and it's glowing and humming ominously. And as he fires, there's an enormous ringing sound.
Oh shit! Dreadifix rolled a nat 20, but unfortunately Voron rolled a 5. So go ahead and roll that damage for me.
Okay. You've got to be shitting. Whatever. Still 11.
It is still 11. 11 is as 11 does. So let me just take some of this damage right here. And as the air implodes around them, you see all the crates, all the cages just buckle inward a little bit because it wasn't that high damage. Some stuff has been damaged, but not everything completely.
Skunnock is going to step over to here, so we can hopefully still fire the ballista without being quite so in range.
Fellow scientist, we'll have to kill it. We'll have to experiment on him later.
None of that shit. No. Only if I'm doing experiments with me.
You can't do experiments without somebody's consent, you know.
That's consent. Sounds boring. Anyway, moving it on to you, Savage.
I'm gonna keep continuing to take out the heavy hitter here on the golem side.
Okie dokie. Roll to...
There. What's this radius again?
Well,
that should be gone. It's instantaneous.
It's gone, but I'm keeping it there to like.
Oh.
To remember what was damaged and where.
Okay.
Right.
So just ignore it.
Nothing of consequence.
I'm gonna draconic roar so that these two guys are within range of that roar,
All right.
and then make 2 attacks on the goal.
Okie dokie. Go ahead and roll them damage. Or attacks. Alright, 23 definitely hits. 10 points of damage. Somehow he's still standing. And with this one, might be the one. You are 1 point away. Somehow, despite his limbs falling off at the seams and the stitches coming undone, barely able to hold itself together,
Rip.
Haksaruni.
Okay. Interesting.
Kick him in the nads.
I am going to let out another roar. Because... Oh, Savage roared. Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
I don't need to do that then. Sorry, my brain just did not process.
Good.
All good.
In that case, the Savage then gets both of these with the roar too. So, what Hux is going to do is he's going to make one attack against the... We'll move here, first off.
Alright, so keep in mind they are hovering about 10 feet in the air. Like, they're like a bit out of your melee range.
Well, given enough space, I can fix that.
Fair enough.
Because I don't need to use my bonus action to roar.
Ah, never mind then.
I will turn huge. Or not huge, but large. Big. You know what I mean.
Yes, I know what you mean. Embiggen. Enlarge.
I will
green
make-
spell.
I will make one attack against the golem that's on the ground. For 22.
Alright. Yep, alright, yep. He only had 1 hit point left, so yep, that'll do it. You stab the blood-fanged javelin into the ground. It kind of clutches the javelin in both hands as you impale it directly into its chest as it gurgles, and the seams all come undone, and the magic goes with it.
Alright, and if I am large now, I should be able to reach these flying guys, right?
You certainly can, yes.
Alright, so I will make one attack against the one that's directly above me.
Alright. A 20
20?
will definitely hit.
Alright. I will apply my giant strength d6 to that one.
Alrighty. Not good.
Very good. Very good. I know what you're talking about.
And then I'm going to do the fighter thing because I'm a fighter.
Oh no.
And take 2 more attacks with the javelin.
Well, shit. Alright, I'll have to make... Okay, 22.
Not that much on that one. And 1 more at him.
Alright. Oh, shit. Okay, alright. He's looking rough. He's looking rough. That's like 3 con saves. Good lord. What's his con again? +1? Good luck, buddy. Nope. Yeah, he failed. Yeah. Alright, so it doesn't
All
stack.
3.
Yeah, it doesn't stack necessarily, but yeah. Alright, you can only take an action or bonus action, not both. Can I use reactions? Okay. Good to know.
Eat it, squid face.
Despicable! Alright, well,
Alright.
that brings it to them.
Sorry, they love it.
He did not like that. He did not like that at all. In fact, he didn't like it so much that he's going to float down And I need both Meepo and Hux.
Does Sanctuary affect this?
It does not, because it's an area of effect.
Okay.
I need you both to make intelligence saving throws for me. As suddenly, a little center of his brain starts to wiggle and wobble, and suddenly, out from his brain.
You can use your emboldening bond on the saving throw, Hawks.
Alright, well, I rolled a 16, and I'll add that d4. So,
Oh shit, okay.
Both of us got 19.
Alright, so. Well, fuck. Alright. You both pass.
What was that? That was weird.
Oh, that's not good. Vorin, we need to make an escape. I've got you, Dreadvac. I need you to make the save again. as Vorin will do the same to both of you in order to facilitate a proper escape.
alright. Do I get the emboldening bond d4 again?
No, it's only once per turn, I think. Let me put it up for you.
Double check. So, Hawks, you take 17 points of psychic damage, and you are stunned.
Hawks, you're not large?
I am large.
Oh, okay. The token just wasn't
Yep.
increased.
Brr.
Okay, so you're stunned, and I'm not. Do I take no damage then?
You take no damage.
Okay.
So you passed both saves, so you're fine. And as such, you see them start flying up the stairs. And that is their turn. Meepo. Are you muted, Stephen?
No, I'm not. I'm thinking. So they've left up the stairs,
Correct.
and this flesh golem is still here?
It is currently
He's
dead. I did not put the X on him. There he is. Now
Okay.
he's noticeably dead. I need to change the pace of the music here. It's a bit not what I'm looking for.
Oh, I know what I'll do. I'm gonna. So Skanuk hasn't really been touched much during this fight, right?
Not at all.
And Savage and Hawks both have.
Yeah, I'm at 49 of 55 currently.
Okay.
Technically 60 with the aid.
Right. So I'm gonna use no, I don't think I'm gonna use that yet. I'll save it for when it's more useful.
If you do healing word, you can heal both Hawks and myself for max healing with a first level spell slot.
Well, Hawks just took 17 damage, so.
Also, take the flesh golem off the turn order because he's no longer part of it.
Plus my ability modifier, which is wisdom. 8
How long does that
healing.
stunned go?
You get a repeating save at the end of each of your turns.
Okay.
I'm gonna do 8 healing on Hawks.
Except it's 9 because we've got Beacon of Hope going, right?
Oh, right. Yes. So 9 healing to Hawks.
All right.
Very good. Back to the top of the round. Skanook.
Let me see. Action to magically. Okay.
So what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a tiny Eldritch Cannon hold in my hand.
All right.
Yes, and like the way the rules are written, it appears that it's still like the same thing. It just doesn't occupy a space. It has like its own movement speed and all.
Yep, correct.
Good. Right, and then I'm gonna run up the stairs.
All right, so however far movement you can go, you do.
Yep. So 25 feet to get here.
And then
Would that count as up?
that'll put you. If you move up to the second layer, that'll get you here with 30 total, and I will reveal what you see. If I can actually, there we go.
This would be probably the Force Ballista.
You now see a second ballista up here. The one that you saw.
Is it,
The one that you
is
saw
it aimed
below.
at me?
No, actually, it seems like they're more concerned about running away than shooting you with it.
Okay. I'm gonna take aim on the most injured one with the Force Ballista.
Alright, that would be the one on the left right here.
Okay, so it makes an attack. It would not get the arcane firearm because it's not a. It's its own thing technically. Zap. I don't know why I have advantage.
Okay, 15. Unfortunately,
15 to hit.
Unfortunately, as the Force Ballista goes to shoot against Dredovex, you see him wave his hand. And this is not a shield spell, it's simply the flavor of it. A mystical barrier seems to go around him and just barely deflects your Force Ballista.
I see.
Not this time.
This time.
You may be a smart scientist like us, but that little get your grubby little hands on our ship. We'll blow it up before you get the chance.
Alright. Fine by me.
Alright?
I could never understand them either.
Yeah, it's very difficult to understand. It's basically trying to speak common with a bunch of just this shit on your face. Like these tentacles just all just like bleh, bleh, bleh. It's dang near inaudible sometimes. You're starting to remember these creatures more and more. Alright, so Savage. Now your turn.
Alright, so with the 40 feet of movement that I have,
Alright, so
move up here. And are they still out of melee range, or are they floating close to the ground right
they
now?
are still out of melee range.
Okay,
Your tail has reached.
That it does.
also true. Let's see. Form of the beast. 1d8 piercing damage on a hit, and has a reach property. Can I make 2 attacks with that since I have the extra attack feature?
I believe you should be able to, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as I'm aware, the tail is basically just another weapon. So you effectively can have 3 as a
Mm-hmm.
beast barbarian.
That's if you want to use the tail, go ahead and make 2 attacks with the tail. There it is. 13, unfortunately, will miss.
You could add on emboldened bond.
That is true, but I roared last turn, yeah?
You did.
So I still have the effects of the roar on me.
You do. So go ahead and roll it again. Ah.
So I'm gonna do the emboldening bond on that.
All right. Fair enough. There we go. Now that's a hit. Which one were you hitting again?
One closest to me.
One closest to you? Okay. That would be Vorin. Excuse me. Man, it's hot in this room. I need to get a fan going. Alright, 9 points of damage to Vorin.
And I'm gonna make my second attack on him.
Alright. Alright, with advantage. Okay, 18 will hit. 10 points of damage. Nothing to sneeze at. Alright. As the tail strikes up. Ah, I see you're using those improvements we gave you quite handily. Ow! Ouch! Oh! Bad, Savage! Bad! Bad! He should point the pistol at you. You're definitely not getting any treats!
I'll settle for your flesh.
Alright, and as you have that exchange, Hawks, go ahead and make another intelligence saving throw for me.
Yep, it's intelligence, right?
Correct. 15.
This
Okay.
time you can add that. Yep.
That was what you needed. Alright. You're good to
But
go.
that's the end of my turn, right?
That is true, unfortunately. But you're no longer stunned.
Can I kind of see up the stairs? Can I see everything that's happening up there? With my big head?
Not really. You can see a little bit. Like, you can maybe, like... You can see Skanuk. Skanuk's kind of blocking the way a little bit, unfortunately.
Okay, that's fine.
Alrighty.
Eat that many cookies. Come on.
I'm not saying you're fat. You're just kind of blocking the way a little bit. That does lead us back to them, though. How much health does he have? Yeah. Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah, they're gonna be able to make it. Yep. So, you, Savage, get an attack of opportunity on either one of your choice.
Let's do the one I've been hitting.
One you've been hitting? Alright, go ahead and roll.
They're in this shadowed part?
Nope, they went upstairs. I will now reveal.
Okay.
15, unfortunately, just misses. Their AC is 16.
Emboldening? I don't know if you'd be able to actually.
Emboldening bond, it says I can use the 1d4 once per turn,
Right.
and it's not my turn.
Right. Makes sense.
Alright. Okay. So. They will begin doing something. That is all I can say.
Does the 18 hit?
Oh, the 18 hits, yeah. -8. Still up. But looking very hurt, both of them.
Good.
Alrighty. Meepo, back to you.
I'm going to go up the stairs. It is stairs, right?
Stairs. The notation of this is all wrong. It is upstairs, yes.
10, 15, 20, 25. And I end up... No, wait. This purple part is the stairs, right?
Correct.
Okay, 5, 10, 15. 20. 25. 30. So would I be able to see them from here? Part way up the stairs?
From your current position, you would be able to see both of them, yes. They currently have both hands on this strange purple metallic seat, and there are these two blue crystal orbs that each one is holding in each of its hands, and they are currently concentrating on both of them. What do you do?
That doesn't help.
What are you thinking?
Thinking 30 feet isn't enough movement for me, Bo.
Ah, the age-old problem. Not enough movement. I can't attack that target.
I guess, has Skinnock been injured?
Not really. I'm missing three hit points.
You guys
It's
been
not worth-
you guys have been doing pretty well this combat for the most part. Ah, Meepo, the no damage cleric.
Right. I don't have anything to even do anything to opponents. The only thing that I can have that can do anything to opponents is opponents who are fighting us. And these opponents are currently not fighting us, so there's nothing I can do. Has Savage taken much damage?
I'm still sitting at minus 11.
Then I guess I'll use Healing Word on you. You get full healing from that.
9. Got it.
That's my turn.
Alrighty. Sknook.
Alright. Sknuck is gonna step up the stairs, which I guess would put him, like, here?
Correct.
Cool. Which of them looks less injured?
I should move the camera up a little bit. 1 second. The one that looks most injured is the guy on the top.
Okay. So, Snuck is going to, like, fumble a vial of acid into the barrel of his arcane firearm and cast Catapult.
Alright. So these guys, dexterity, not their best stat. And I swear, if it's like a moose situation where I roll really high with their bad rolls, I will be very, very sorry.
Right.
Alright, so
15 bludgeoning damage.
okay. He fails.
Ooh.
So he takes the 15 bludgeoning, and he takes a d8 because arcane firearms bullshit. So 20, so 5 fire? Possibly just 20 bludgeoning. And then whatever the acid does.
I believe it's 2d4. So go and roll 2d4.
Really? Okay.
Oh, it's 2d6 actually.
I thought it was like 1d6.
Nope, it's actually acid is not bad. All
So
right.
6, so 26 damage.
All right. As both of them are concentrating on these spheres, you see the sphere start to light up. And it's like, we did it, Foreign! We saved the... As he just gets blasted back with the acid vial. As it just disintegrates his whole head as it caves in from the impact. And then the rest of his form is just jet rocket propelled out of the ship. And just... A smudge of purple slime and goo just craters into the ground next to the ship, about 20 feet away.
And this would have been the less injured one?
That would have been the less injured one, yeah.
Excellent. And then
sorry, not the less injured one. Sorry, my apologies. So in that case, it would have... Sorry, I'm completely misunderstood. In that case,
Yep.
rewind. We did it, Generax! We saved the... Other side. For a moment, parallel universes coincide of what could have been.
What? Oh dear. What could have happened if we'd gone down the other trouser leg of time? Yes. And then bonus action, I'm going to shoot the other guy with the force ballista.
Wait! Yeah, that hits. Okay, 4 points.
Only 4 force damage.
Only 4 force damage. He's still up.
So anyway, I started blasting.
So anyway, I also started blasting. And he pulls out his own gun.
I want it. Give me the gun.
No, it's mine.
Not for long.
Says you. Savage.
These guys are almost like the anti-Skanuk.
A little bit, yeah.
I feel like we're not quite two sides of the same coin. We're like
We're like two different coins that are on the same side. Like they're both heads up, but they're different coins.
I would use like different parts of one side of the same.
So he
If
is
they
on,
had
he is on the ground. So because he had to activate whatever he was doing, so he's on the ground.
he. Okay. I'm going to recklessly attack
Okay.
twice.
Do it. Do it. Hits. 15. Slashing damage. How would you like to kill this creature? What has been your captor? The one who stole you from your original world.
As he's speaking his nonsense, I see the little tiny beak just flapping around inside the tentacles, and my sword goes right into the opening of said beak and out the back, and I just rip to the side, cutting half of his head off, and the other half just kind of dangles there on some skin.
As you cleave partially through the skull, your sword catches on that little beak protrusion, and the part of the head sloughs off, but the other stays, and the two black eyes slowly blink, and then the body falls to the ground. You were our best test subject. You were a success. And it dies. And combat comes to an end. However,
I'm gonna say
something happens.
so about that whole self-destruct thing they were talking about.
The orb on what you think might be a helm of some kind, although you see no wheel like that of a ship. The orb begins to glow. And what languages do you all know? Do any of you know deep speech at all?
Savage
Yes.
does.
I do.
You do. Good. This makes this easier and less gotcha-y. You hear a voice in deep speech. Say this. 60. 59. 58. 57. 56. And it starts counting down from 60.
Okay, so I, as a character, don't know what a countdown is because I assume that bombs requiring a countdown are not very typical.
Okay.
However,
You've been around Skanuk long enough that you might know.
Roll, roll
we
intelligence for me, Savage, just to see.
okay.
Ah,
I'm staring at this orb and just like the baked, I don't know what's going on kind of stare.
Mm-hmm.
You can add your emboldening bond to this check.
Intelligence check or save?
Let's make it just a check. Straight check.
It's the same thing either way.
we did say something, right?
Maybe, yes. 15? 17?
I don't know. It's 17 because it's not advantage and +2.
Okay. You know, Skunk has sometimes counted down to when something explodes.
Hey guys, we should grab their gun and run.
Right. Right. As I go to pick up the gun, like I'm gonna like look at the thing. Do I see any way that like I might be able to interface with it and shut it off?
So there's a couple things here. So, because you were on a time limit, the action of trying to decipher what this thing is will take time. If you attempt to decipher what, if you have the ability to turn it off, that will take approximately 20 seconds. And currently you are at 50. We'll say you're at
56, I think you said?
Yeah, 56 right now.
See. How high is this window that the guy got launched out of?
It's about, considering the height of the ship, I'd say it's about 25 feet down from where you currently are.
Well, damn.
33. 32.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just leave. We'll pick up the gun and we'll leave. So much loot we're leaving behind.
On our way out, I'm gonna glance over at the spot that he blew up and see if there's anything that looks shiny as we're passing by, and if there is, I'm going to pick it up.
There's so many rooms. Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna scoop up the stack of javelins that was out by this ballista
Fair
and
enough.
hoof it. I've probably got the easiest escape, and I'm gonna tell the werebear that we should probably stand back a good ways.
Is there anything over here that looks interesting as I'm passing by it?
Well, as you're going down, there is 20 seconds left on the clock. If you wish to search,
I'm not gonna search. I'm gonna glance and see if there's anything like obviously shiny sticking out.
Okay.
And if there is, I'm gonna grab it, and if not, I'm gonna go past it without
Okay.
stopping.
perception with disadvantage, because you are glancing by and you're trying to hurry. Okay. Give me a second.
I want the cool stuff.
Well, you just might get something. Let me double check here.
Luckily, we opened
Oh.
everything with that shatter.
Well, that also helps you here, in fact, on the 21.
Oh shit! You actually.
Skinnuk
Oh
opened
shit!
everything during the battle.
Oh shit! You actually do
Let's
find
try to
something
blast
cool.
the thing and see if it worked.
You lucky bastard! You actually do find something really cool. Okay, so most of what was in the crates are shattered. No kind of beating the bush around that. However, you see, at first glance, what appears very similar to like maybe like a walking stick or like a crutch. It's very long
grabbing
and
it.
thin. Yeah, you grab it. You don't even think twice. You just grab it. You don't even time. No time to describe what it is. Just grab it.
Walking stick thing. Grabbing it, going.
Walking stick thing. Put it down as, for my own sake, technology ? In parentheses next to it.
Okay.
Right, and you grab that, and you start running as fast as you can, all of you, away from the ship. Savage, what are you doing? Are you still on the ship, or are you running?
Oh, I'm booking it.
Okay, you're booking. All right, let me put your token over here. All right, so Skinnuk, you also took his gun, his alien laser pistol. So go ahead and add that to your inventory, even though you don't know what it is. You also find something else on his, because I'll say like all that he was carrying on him was like quite obvious, so there's no need to like make a deep check to search. You also find a 6-inch long black metal rod with a button on the top that you add to your inventory, Skinnuk. And as it does so, as you all run away, trying to explain to to your guide, you suddenly see her currently actually doing battle with a boulette. It's just because the order of operations, you technically there's a lot going on. You guys fucking book it. As the guy just runs past and the bullet staggers forward. As the Weber throws the bullet near to the ship to buy you some time. And as it happens, as this happens, as you all are running for your lives, you see this tiny little white spark just get brighter and brighter and brighter. And then the ship becomes a miniature black hole and then expands. I need you all to make Constitution saving throws to avoid being blinded from the sheer brightness that is this explosion. You're not close. You've gotten far enough away that you're not taking damage from the explosion, but still, it's like a nuclear bomb going off in your field of view.
You can add the D4, yeah.
16.
16.
Let me
11.
I need to actually roll this just so you can see.
I don't know
How
why
much
I had
damage?
advantage, but or disadvantage, but it was the first one.
Let's see.
I don't know that Hawks would.
Hux would what?
I mean, if Hawks failed the save, it's not gonna matter a whole lot.
It's not gonna affect anything. He
Hang-
just isn't
hang
gonna
on.
be able to make perception checks.
Hang on.
Well, within 10 feet of him, he will.
I need to show you guys the number. That's
That's the damage.
That's the damage that you would have taken if you were
I
still
think
inside.
I would have died.
No, you would have lived probably.
Here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
With the half damage from raging, could Savage still be standing after that?
Here's the question: what kind of damage was it?
It was
Yeah,
force
we-
damage.
Radiant?
It would not
Force
be bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing, so I wouldn't be taking half damage since I'm not a.
Unless you were Bear Totem
Bear Totem.
instead of Beast.
Interesting.
I think.
It would be close. I'm at 58.
Right. I
Five.
think Sknuck would have gone down, but not permadied from that.
Let's see. Permadie is if you have 34 or less, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As your like max time, right?
29 is my max right now.
Yeah.
That's with aid.
Yeah,
So-
Miko was
So, congratulations, everyone. You're now level 6.
Ooh,
Hoorah!
I like that sound.
So, this was
What's going on? Okay, what's going on with the bullet out there?
So, you remember when I described that there were several cages for large monsters that were not there? And how they were carrion crawlers that also had leather
Ah.
collars? The Boulette was one of the monsters that escaped.
I see.
Savage wasn't the only one that escaped.
that HP roll sequence is
I know.
kind to you.
No!
Yeah.
No! Not again! Meepo!
There you go, guys. That's
I
what you
get-
get for rolling HP every single time. My max HP is now 27. Without the aid, and with aid it is 32. I would still permadie from that explosion.
It's just so sad.
I can only laugh at this point.
I mean, it's not like you don't. You continue to do this to yourself. You
I know.
make this choice.
I always make this choice, and it makes it more fun. It just means I have, because either I get to be really beefy for no good reason, or I get to be really, really fragile without it being. So it's like something I can roleplay.
I want to point out though that a wizard that had rolled about average would still be in worse shoes than you.
That's true.
Wow. Just wow.
The proficiency bonus is still 3. Ugh. Go up, proficiency bonus.
Yeah, I think it's like 8 that we go up on, right?
I believe
So-
so.
As a fighter, I get an ASI.
You do.
The question is, and I think we discussed this, that it would be either for the fighter the ones that are off from where everyone else gets their ASIs.
Yes.
I think we discussed either doing a feat or doing the stats, not doing feat and stats the way we were with.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to take a quick look at some feats.
6th level, I get 2 channel divinities per rest.
Yeah, buddy.
That means I can use my walking thing way more often. The one where I walk in and heal a bunch of people. And I get a Divine Domain feature. And another 3rd level spell slot. That's great. That's probably the best thing.
So there were a lot of different ways that this could have gone. There was probably some more information you probably could have learned, maybe. But that went out the window as soon as you attacked the squidlings.
That's fine. They were kind of horrible, and
But they're ugly cute in a way. It's like
Right, but we had been told that everything in there was bad.
I know.
So-
No. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming you for anything. I'm just saying they could have gone very differently. And I honestly do not think that this was the ending for this particular quest that you would have gotten. But I'm so glad that this was the ending that you got for this particular quest, because that light, all of 10 towns saw that. That is how bright that is. Probably even down in Sword Coast they saw it. That's how bright it was.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, for
what
those who
was
failed to
the
say,
what was the DC for not getting blinded by it?
well, that was okay. To be fair, that was something I implied on my own. That was like a mini, for flavor, it's not permanent.
Ah.
It's like a mini, temporarily blinded. So don't worry about that.
Okay.
That was for to simulate you seeing a mini nuclear bomb happen right in front of you.
Right. Here's the plan. We're passing that off as the Light of Eldath.
The light of Eldath, cleansing the world of things that would disturb the peace.
I don't know how to respond to that. Genuinely,
Now you have time to think about it before next week.
man, this is going places I never thought it would go. Well, I might have a title for next week, maybe.
kobolds in a
Nico is
fresco
so
in the light
easy
of
to
Elda.
roleplay. It's funny.
No, I'm loving this. Like, the kobolds group has been just so fun.
Protective
Now I can
bond.
have-
That is my
learn.
new ability. I will post it for you guys momentarily.
All right, well, I think I'll end this stream here. But this has been, it's been a lot of fun. And thank you for those new
Yep.
viewers who tuned in today. I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time, though. Until then, catch you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.